A very good morning. You're with the news here on Mirror Now. My name is Apurva Sridhar. Let's begin with our top focus story coming in where 6 people, including 4 soldiers and 2 civilians, were killed after an avalanche hit the northern side of the Siachen Glacier yesterday. The incident took place after the avalanche hit 8 army personnel of a patrol party at around 3:30 p.m. Now, all 8 personnel were pulled out of the avalanche. However, 4 men are in a critical condition and are being treated at the military hospital. Remember, this is of course extremely concerning and a tragic case that has come to light where 4 of the army personnel have been killed in an avalanche. 2 of the civilian porters are also killed. Let me go across to my colleague Mir Farid, who's joining me live with those details there. Farid, what more details can you give it to us at this point? It is extremely unfortunate what has happened. The death of 4 army men who have been killed due to the avalanche that hit in the Siachen Glacier.
That's right, Apurva. It's another of those deadly avalanches that has hit this army patrol party. It was moving from one post to the other on the northern side of the glacier. It's also called the Saltoro Ridge. And it is at around 3:30 when the avalanche came hurtling down from the mountain top. And before these army personnel could react, they were trapped under heaps and tons of snow. And since the army neighboring units pressed into service men and machinery, and in fact they tried their best to reach these people in time by in fact 3 hours, that's around 6:30 is the time when they reached these people. They were pulled out, but 7 of them were critically wounded, although all of them were pulled out. But out of the 8, 1 was still stable. 7 others were wounded and they were shifted to the hospital in a chopper. But unfortunately, due to extreme hypothermia, 6 died, and as you rightly said, 4 are soldiers from the Dogra regiment. 2 are local porters who helped the army to move logistics and ration and other supplies from post to post. So that really is the situation. It's a very tough terrain normally, and extreme weather conditions, most inhospitable, and it is also the world's highest battlefield. So there are multiple things that the army fights there. Not only the enemy, but also the biggest enemy obviously is weather in this case. Back to you.
Absolutely. Farid, also very important to note that the avalanche in fact took place at around 3 p.m. And this happened at an altitude of around 19,000 feet. How long were the soldiers trapped inside? How was the rescue operation? How tedious was it? Because as you're pointing out, the terrain is extremely treacherous. It is very difficult at this point to carry out any kind of relief and rescue operation. So can you take us through the process of how the relief and rescue operation took place and how long were the soldiers stuck inside?
Well, these people were stuck for close to 3.5 to 4 hours, and rescue effort in these cases can be very tricky. Even we've seen in the past, even rescue teams getting trapped when weather is bad, and you're talking of 19,000 feet, minus 50 to minus 60 degrees Celsius is the temperature. So one can imagine the situation out there. It is more than the enemy. As I said, the battle is with the weather and how to survive. There have been cases of hypothermia and edema and frost bites. That's all, everything that the army keeps fighting. I mean, these soldiers, officers were there at those heights. And in fact, if you talk of the rescue effort, it continued for almost half an hour. They still, I mean, reached them by close to 4 hours. They were pulled out. But as I said, in those minus temperatures, under heaps and tons of snow, there was extreme hypothermia. They took them to the hospital, but unfortunately by then it was too late. Already there is an advisory as far as avalanche threat is concerned. These are winters, heavy snowfall. So there is a non-stop continuous avalanche threat that still persists in that area, and army formations have already been alerted, and this could be an eye-opener for what exactly going to happen in the coming winters as well, where the avalanche threat will continue to loom large. Back to you.
Absolutely. We'll have to leave it there, Farid. Extremely unfortunate to note that the 4 of the army personnel have been killed. 2 of the civilian porters have also died in this avalanche that struck the Siachen Glacier. We'll have to leave it there, Farid.